Just did the Santa Sprint out at Barnesville, Ohio. Never been here before. It's a 2.5 hour drive for me. Taking 70 the whole way, basically from Youngwood down until I hit like Ohio. Then I don't know where I jumped on. Who knows what road. Anyway, it's a 5K and a 1 mile race. You can do both. The 1 mile is at 2 p.m. Well, and then the 5K is at 2:30. My buddy Carl puts on the race. He asked me to come out because he's been to some of mine, so I wanted to support him because I never had a chance to do any of his races before. So weather's nice. Finally got the opportunity to come out and support one of his races. He makes tons of awards, like an insane amount of awards, like all handmade and handcrafted, like themed. I wish I could show you mine that I got today, but they're in the back seat, so I don't break them on the way home. But just a huge amount of awards. Like basically everybody's gonna get something handmade. And then there's also like finishers medals as well, and then a bunch of giveaways and stuff like not like gift bags or something like that. Not gift baskets, but like more like bags and some stuff like that. So he does go all out. I mean, obviously I wanted to win both races. And they were also doing like a combined time. Obviously I wanted to win both and get the combined time. I definitely didn't do that today. There was definitely some young kids and even a couple older guys that just out the gates. But it was a beautiful day. It was 60 degrees for what? Today's like the 2nd of December? Yeah, 2nd of December and it's 60 degrees. I was like, are you serious? Like, you can't ask for like better weather than that for this time of year. So I was kind of shocked how nice it was, but it was definitely great because the drive was awesome. What I mean by awesome is the roads were clear, didn't have to worry about idiots on the road and shit like that. So with the weather and stuff like that, couldn't ask for better driving conditions for going to a place that I've never been to before. Even though I've been through 70 the whole way, like past here till I got off, but whatever. So I didn't know the course, I didn't know what to expect, I didn't know the competition. I just knew maybe like 5 or 6 people there. So basically a whole new crowd of people to race against. So it's always fun like that because you never know what to expect, you know, what people are going to do, how they race, just their general movement. If they're going to fade, they go out too fast, they can maintain, like just their general abilities. So it's always nice to mix it up a little bit instead of racing the same people. So I was definitely out of my element, and I had no idea what roads he was talking about when he said turn here, turn there. I'm like, I have no idea. So it's definitely a whole new experience for me. Plus it's a learning experience when you not just the competition wise, but when you go to a different area and you don't know the roads or the stuff that they're talking about, it just gets you in that mindset to pay attention a little bit more. If there's no lead vehicle, I've been to races where like there was like a lead vehicle or the course allows that sort of thing, that you just basically follow a vehicle. This one actually helped me training and for other races in the future, because it actually made me pay attention to like course markings and arrows and stuff like that. So it did help me a little bit more for future races as well, and just a good experience in general. So with the 1 mile, I'm looking at a bunch of kids at the start line. They looked fast. I was like, oh great, a bunch of high school kids are just gonna like fly out and we'll see what they can do. Wasn't sure if they were gonna like blow up, maintain, or whatnot. So you have to think about that a little bit. And well, a couple of them did. couple faded, but like the first 1/10 of a mile into the race, I look at my watch, it's 4:45 pace. I'm like, screw this. I was like, don't even try to like maintain or hang with those kids early on. I was like, if they fade, put a move on, but don't get caught up in their bullshit, because you're just going to burn yourself up, not only this race, but for the 5K. So I got back within my ability or self. I could drop like a 5-minute mile, but what's that going to do for the 5K? Plus I'm really fat right now and out of shape, so I really didn't want to like risk too much trying to catch them or maintain with them or anything like that. I think the winner was like 4:46. I did 5:27 was my time. Definitely could have been 5-10 seconds quicker easily, but whatever. I was gonna catch the top couple, so my mindset was just, hey, do your thing, try to do something in the 5K, see what happens, because there's no way I'm trying to drop a 4:46 mile and then go race a 5K after that. That just wouldn't be smart on my behalf, unless I was going for the mile win only. Then that would have been different, but I was trying to go for like combined times. So there's that. But yeah, there was like, I think I was 6th. Yeah, I was 6th overall in the mile. Pretty much the whole time. There was one kid or maybe two I passed like 3 or 4 tenths into the race, and then I got past the last like 10th, putting me in the 6th. Could I have done a little bit better? Yes. Should I have done a little bit better? Yes. But at the time, I was, I guess, knowing I wasn't going to finish first, you know how I get into that mindset. I was like, concentrate more on the 5K than the mile. Plus, I didn't really warm up too much. I was actually more nervous not knowing what the courses were going to be than actually concentrating on the races. But the mile is basically just an out and back course. And I took that turn really slow. I don't know what the hell I was doing. It was probably one of the slowest turns that I've done. My legs just didn't want to like slow up and make it. Like, I actually had to like go out and around. Like, I couldn't do like a quick turn like I normally do. I actually had to like go out around the turnaround to actually turn around. So I was like, what the, what's up with that? But whatever. Yeah, so I ended up finishing 6th in the 5:27 for the mile. But whatever, it was basically flat. I'm just gonna call it flat. There might have been a little bit of a decline on the way out and uphill on the way back, but nothing where I'm gonna say it was hilly or anything, any kind of bullshit like that. But then for the 5K, it was a little like he was explaining the course, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, because he's telling people it's this way, and like I said, like with the road. So I was relying on the course markings and people out on the course pointing in the right direction, which is, I mean, generally what you do anyhow. And I was like, all right, we'll see what happens with this race. Try to make up some time on some of those people who finished in front of you in the 5K. So you can finish top 5 combined. Because my buddy was telling me, he's like, it's top 5 overall, like for the races, but it just wasn't clicking to after the 5K. I just had that top 3 mindset. If I ain't top 3, do I really care? But I should have been more in that top 5. I need to be top 5 for both races and whatnot. That's why when I finished 6th, I was just like, shit, you probably should have pushed a little bit harder, but whatever. But yeah, they did top 5 overall for the 1 mile, the 5K, and combined. So I sort of put myself behind the 8 ball in the mile. I should have pushed a little bit harder to close the gap on like the 5 people in front of me in the mile. I shouldn't have. I don't know. I just, you know what I mean? You want to go, should have went faster, because it does come into play with the combined times. So the first half mile and the last half mile of the 5K are the same. Basically flat. Well, no, wait, let me rephrase that. They're not. Shit, I forgot. So scratch that. The last half mile of the 5K is the same as the 1 mile. But right away for the 5K, we go like a 10th, and then we split up to the right and do a little turnaround. And then we head out to the 1 mile course and do that half mile on the way out to finish the other 5K loop. So I had to correct myself. I forgot about that real quick. But you get that first little turnaround, and it already shows you, hey, this is how much you got on this person, how much you got on this person, because it's like quarter mile into the race, maybe 3/10. I don't know what the mileage was, but it gives you that quick little glimpse of what's going on behind you, so you don't have to like keep looking over your shoulders the whole time, see who's turning and burning and who's not. But I was third at that turn, pretty much third the whole race. Actually, I want to say, yeah, except for maybe like the first 50 yards, I was maybe fourth. But after that, I was third the rest of the race. And I was watching first and second. They were running along beside each other until, we'll call it 2 miles. So I don't know what they were doing, if they were like actually battling back and forth, pushing each other, or they were just like running like as a like 2 buddies. But they were definitely side by side for that first 2 miles, and I was like, all right. And as I'm watching them, as we go like out to the first 7/10, and then we make this left down that quick around this little, I just want to call it a block or a little housing development. There was a little bit of a dip, and then we come out to this turn where this cop car was. I saw them hesitate a little bit because it had a turnaround sign, but it wanted you to make a sharp right-hand turn, and they hesitated on that. I was like, all right, so I see that, so then I know not to do that. Then they go up this road, head back towards like the first water station. It was, I would say, like a mile into the race, give or take. Then we make this left, and we do this hill that people were talking about, which I wouldn't even call it a hill. I'd call it more of a speed bump. But I guess for some people it would be a hill. I didn't know how big this hill was going to be, so I didn't want to take it really hard and then blow up. But it was just enough where your legs were burning just slightly before it like leveled off, and then went down a slight little dip to another turnaround sign, and then obviously head back up it, and then you got a nice little break running down that hill that you just came up. I mean, again, it's not a hill, but it's got that decline, so you get that free speed. I was still in third place, but after that turnaround at say like mile 2, first place just, I don't know what happened. He just like bolted. I don't know if second place took the turn wrong, like just too slowly, and it lost momentum, but whatever. First place, just like I said, just took off and had maybe like 10 seconds on them. By that time though, they had probably 15 seconds on me maybe. But then at that turnaround, I looked and I had 15 seconds on 4th place, so 30 seconds total, because it was 15 seconds before I passed them. So I was like, all right, you're in a good place, just maintain. You at least got 3rd for this race unless you do something stupid. But like 4th and 5th were close to each other, so I was like, all right, we'll see how that's gonna play out, because I wasn't really sure. I'm trying to think now. Yeah, so we go down the hill, and then we make a left to head back towards the finish / where like the 1 mile race was. It's just a steady, like, straight stretch road. For some reason, I don't know, because I know there was a little bit of smoke in the air, a couple different spots. I don't know what it was, but my stomach started turning, and like my throat started to get dry in the back. It was a little bit dry in the beginning of the race, but it got drier as the race progressed. And then at like 2.5 miles, I started choking and getting sick. I was like, all right, just stop now, get this out of your system. So it was like, not really puking because there wasn't really anything in my stomach, but I was stopped for like 10 seconds, just like choking, like dry heaving. And then I just like hit my chest like that, and then I was fine, good to go. And then I took off again, but I did lose so much momentum because it was hard to get started back up, and just stopping for that like 10 seconds really cost me. So then after that, it was just maintain after that, because I looked behind me and I saw 4th place closer now, and I was like, shit, you really screwed up, but whatever. As long as I hung on to the top 3, I just didn't know how it was going to come into play for the combined times, and that's basically what cost me 3rd overall combined times, and then I'm finishing 4th overall combined because of that little choking up. I mean, I'm out of shape, so when I'm going to red line, it's going to cost me, and that happened today. Just being fat and out of shape, you'll have that. Whatever, kind of pisses me off. I like the competition today, but just how I performed in general, just it did piss me off, because I know I'm capable of doing a lot better than I did today, but whatever. So I got 4th overall combined time, so I still got top 5 combined, which, I mean, it was a goal, I guess. Still would have liked to have taken top spot, or at least top 3, but I was 10-12 seconds behind 3rd for the combined, but whatever. But in general, I'm happy I went. I thought it was a fun race, and I'm glad I got like some cool awards and shit. I just, like I said, I'm just pissed how I did today. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Other than that, I'm happy I went. Trying to think what else to say. I guess that's about it. I mean, you'll have to check out that Santa Sprint race or some of the other races he puts on, because like I said, he always does handcrafted races. I think they're all in that same little Barnesville area. I don't know how the different courses are. I know they were talking about the pumpkin race that he does there. It's a little bit different or backwards. I don't know. I was just trying not to get confused when people were talking about the pumpkin race and the Santa Sprint. Like mentally, I was like, don't try to pay attention to what they're doing or talking about, because it's going to confuse you in directions. So, whatever. Yeah. guess that's my rundown. But yeah, as I said, I had fun. Glad I went. Glad I got to see some new competition. Take me out of my element a little bit. Maybe my nutrition was off a little bit. Coming to the race for a 5K, like 2.5 hour drive, it was a little bit off. Obviously, because I got sick. And I'll tell you what the hell? Alright, so the West Virginia and the Ohio rest stops were all closed on the way. I was like, what the hell is this shit? I had to piss so bad. I will admit that. I had to piss so bad on the way down. But the rest stops were all closed. I was like, alright, so if I go off to a gas station, like off the road or whatever, you know what I mean, off the main highway, I was like, I'm gonna lose like 10-15 minutes of time. I'm only gonna get there 10 minutes before the start because I was planning on a rest stop. But whatever, I guess every single rest stop heading down here is closed. Don't know why they had to do that, but it's kind of irritating, but something I got out. So I pissed like a gallon as soon as I got there. Pissed a couple more times before the race, the 1 mile, and then in between the races, and I had to poop afterwards. Everything was just off today. But it is what it is. I'll share pictures and stuff later. I got a cool picture of my awards next to some inflatables. He had some inflatables inside the building they used. A couple of elf cutouts, but it was a nice building. And I say it's a nice building because let's just say the weather was bad. They actually had a place to go for cover if that scenario ever plays out. So that's always nice to have instead of just being like out in the open, like waiting. I don't know, just something different. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. So I got a nice 2-hour drive left to go. Probably have to stop at Cheats and get some food because I am starving. Probably have to get some gas too, so whatever.